David and Goliath. Last week, we learned about David. David was a young man who loved God and made good choices. In our story today, we will learn more about David. He watched his father's sheep in the field. He will make sure that they had green grass to eat, cool water to drink, and that they were safe from animals that wanted to eat them. Once, a lion snatched a little lamb from the flock, and David ran after it, struck the lion, and rescued the sheep. He also saved the sheep from a bear. David was a brave boy who trusted in God. One day, as David was watching the sheep, his father asked him to go to his older brothers and take them some food. 3 of David's older brothers were fighting in a big army against the Philistines. The Philistines' leader was a giant, over 9 feet tall, named Goliath. He wore armor on his body and had a huge spear. Every day, for 40 days, Goliath came out and called to God's people, the Israelites.
Who will fight me? Send one man to fight me. If he beats me, my army will become your servants. But if I beat him, you will all become our servants. Send someone to fight me today.
King Saul and all the Israelite army were terrified of Goliath. No one wanted to fight this giant. Meanwhile, David packed the bread and cheese his father gave him and set out to the camp to check on his brothers. When he got there, he heard Goliath saying,
Who will fight me?
David was not afraid to fight Goliath. He spoke to King Saul and said,
Don't worry about Goliath. I will go and fight him.
King Saul said,
You can't go and fight this giant. You are just a boy. Goliath has been fighting all of his life.
But David said,
God has helped me kill a lion and a bear when I was watching my father's sheep. God will help me to beat Goliath and will save his people from the Philistine army.
King Saul decided to let David fight Goliath. So, David went down to the stream and chose 5 smooth stones and put them in his bag. He walked toward Goliath with only his slingshot and a bag of stones. Goliath came at David with his shield and sword. When he saw that David was just a boy, he said,
Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks? Come closer so that I can beat you.
He was making fun of David. David looked at Goliath and said,
You come at me with a sword and a spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of the Israelite army. Today, the Lord will help me beat you, and all the world will know that there is a God in Israel.
David reached into his bag and chose 1 stone to put in his slingshot. He slung at Goliath and hit him right in the forehead, knocking him face down on the ground. God had helped David beat Goliath. David believed in God's power. We should believe in God's power also.